Wait, hold on. Mauricio's calling me. Should I pick up?
Yeah,
Yeah, pick up.
up.
Put him
This
on.
is awesome.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Love Bug.
Hi.
Oh my
I'm
God.
on doing a podcast right now with Matt Lionetti and Eric from the Broke Agent, the Overasked podcast, and you're live. Say hi.
Oh my God, how fun. Hi, everybody.
Today we had on the star of Buying Beverly Hills, Farrah Brittany. She talks about why she got into the industry, how she built so much confidence in real estate, what it's like being on Netflix, how it's affected her business, and a little guest appearance from Mauricio Umansky.
The Broke Agent presents Overask Podcast.
Farrah, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you guys?
Good. We're excited to have you on, fresh off your chairman award.
Yes. Fresh off my chairman award. Yes. Thank you.
Eric, so Farrah, I don't know
What
if
is
you
this?
know I don't know if you know the agency, Eric, but Farrah won the chairman award, and what that is top 5% in all of the agency.
Mhm.
And it's incredible because the agency has some of the, I'm not even joking, some of the best agents in the world. So
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I feel honored.
Did you receive a physical award, or is this more of a digital?
This is more
recognition?
digital. So
Okay.
unfortunately, I do not have any trophies behind me.
Got
I
it.
do.
That would have been cool. Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I got a couple awards myself. So
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
Wait, Matt. We have a couple awards.
No,
This
I got
is-
agency awards too.
Oh, okay. But we
my
also
God,
have
killing
the
it.
Inman
Yeah.
Innovator Award for podcast.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
I think Matt,
nice.
you also have a couple Home Snap Awards as top agent.
Yeah, top agent in the Top Agent magazine.
That's my goal for next year.
Is it? Okay, nice. So Farrah, I mean, I think everyone kind of knows who you are at this point, but for people who may not know, who are living under a rock, as they say, can you kind of give us your elevator pitch?
Oh, God. Hi, guys. I'm Farrah Brittany, founding member of the agency, president of the Umansky team, also known as Mauricio Umansky's daughter. Been in business for 13 years, basically, yeah, since before the inception of the agency. And here we are.
Yeah, so this is crazy. Like when you, because I didn't know you were in the business for so long until I saw Buying Beverly Hills, and I was like, "Holy shit, you've been in for like a long time."
Yeah.
Why'd you decide to get your license 13 years ago?
Well, I was actually going to go down a whole nother route. I was going to go to the psychology route, but funny enough, I was interning with Mauricio, which is kind of funny, every summer when I was in high school and when I was in college, because I just thought that that's what I needed to do. Like no one asked me to get an internship, but I was like, I need this for my resume. And I was always so interested in what he was doing. Like when I was 8 years old, I was asking to go to open houses on Sundays. I knew all the neighborhoods in LA. And when I realized that I don't know if psychology was necessarily the right fit, Mauricio sat me down and kind of pitched me. He kind of recruited me and said like, "Hey, what do you think about getting to real estate?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to be a real estate agent. That's kind of embarrassing. But he convinced me that it would be a good idea. And I said, okay, well, I guess I'll give it a shot. And then 8 months later, we opened the agency. So it was kind of perfect timing where I was in life and just to be there from, the beginning.
Why did you think being a real estate agent was embarrassing? Because I totally agree, by the way. When I became a real estate agent, I was also very embarrassed to even tell people I was
so
becoming a real estate
embarrassing.
agent.
Like
Yeah,
I'm not like a
it's still
used car
embarrassing.
salesman vibes.
Totally.
I was like very academic in high school and in school my whole life. I was always like considered myself like an intellectual. So I was like, really, I'm going to go to NYU, USC. I'm going to, and then end up just becoming another real estate agent. Like I'm better than this. And then I had a reality check and I was like, you know what? That's just me hating. We're trying to innovate the industry. We're trying to do something different. And I get to be a part of something different. And in the beginning, I was Mauricio's assistant for 3 years And I was like, no, I don't want to be an agent, but like maybe I can be, like head of franchises or head of marketing or something on the business side. But then I just woke up one day and I said, you know what? I have the best mentor in the biz. This is like an incredible job. It's different every day. I don't need to be in a cubicle, 9 to 5. And I grew up in LA. Like I know so many people. So I just had to let that go. And now I think it's cool to be an agent, right?
It
I
is
mean, it's
cool.
still maybe a little embarrassing still, but like it's also
It's
cooler
way
than it
cooler
was.
now.
It's cooler now than it was, for sure.
Yeah.
So was that hard once you did decide to actually, okay, I'm going to be a real estate agent? Was it hard to almost find your identity in the business because of who your dad is? I mean, he's one
Yeah,
of the biggest agents to ever do it, really. So
for
was that
sure.
hard for you? Yeah.
Definitely. I think I wasn't looking at it like that at the time, but I was, straight out of college, and everywhere we would go, um, everyone would just say like, okay, like, what does Mauricio think? Or, it was always, what does your dad think? What does Mauricio think? And everything I said, even though I was echoing basically what Mauricio said, because I was learning from him, no one would ever trust me. They would never believe me. And they'd always want to know well, just patch me in with him. So I was like, that is my goal. I want people to trust in what I'm saying, to believe in me, to know that I have their best interests, so that they know. And so for them to know that I know what I'm doing. So that was kind of like my driving force. Was I don't want people just to think that, he slapped me on this deal. And so I basically was like, okay, well, I need to bring value then, and go the extra mile.
Did you have like a career changing sale or something that really like solidified you in the business, would you say, or was it gradual?
No, I had a crazy one of my first sales. It was like my good luck charm. Mauricio actually had the listing. It was in the it was like $35 million listing. And somebody called me through my network in LA, and they just said, hey, I have like this billionaire coming to LA, show him some properties. And they like prepped me. I had to like have 3 meetings with some people underneath this guy, and he wasn't supposed to know and whatever. And I ended up so bringing him to one of our listings. And the guy just walked in for 5 seconds, took a twirl, and was like, yeah, I'll take it. So my first sale
Jesus.
was like, in the $30 million range, $33 million. And then that guy actually never ended up moving in. So 2 years later, we got the listing again. And this time I was on the listing side. So sold that one for the second time.
For the people at
Um,
home, this is not a normal
no,
occurrence. Just,
this is
just so you
not a
know, I know
normal
in case
occurrence
you're a
at all.
newly licensed agent in Iowa, you don't have someone walking a $35 million listing, buy it, and then resell it a couple years later. But that is
Mm-mm.
fantastic. That's a great way to enter. My first deal, I think,
Yeah.
was a lease in West Hollywood.
You're still working on
I'm
that
still
first
working
deal,
on my
aren't
first
you?
deal, actually, but my first deal, I think I made $400 on, and I spent more basically on gas
Of
and 6
course.
months of hell than actually the commission. So
Well, hey, you got to
good for you
start
starting out
somewhere,
like that.
right? Yeah,
Exactly.
that was lucky. I gotta say, beyond.
Is what it is. I mean, that's unreal. Like,
Hmm.
what'd you sell for the second time?
So the first time was 31, and the second time was 33. Yeah.
Pretty sweet. Hey, Eric would
Mhm.
retire on that.
Yeah,
And
100%.
even
That's my volume ever. So that's fantastic. So I want to ask you in your beginning years and after
Mhm.
watching the show too, I see this big theme about confidence and developing confidence. Mauricio talks
Mhm.
about it. You talk about, John Grauman talks about, and you kind of see it with Alexia going through the house. And I felt this a lot as a younger agent as well, just the nerves of whether the seller's there or not knowing the specs.
Mhm.
And the way you present on camera, the way you show properties, there's obviously so much confidence and experience there. How did you develop that initially in your first couple of years?
Initially, well, I have a lot of anxiety, and I know that if I'm going to go somewhere, I try to anticipate all the questions that I'm going to get, because I do not want to be the person that is just, staring at them like a deer in the headlights. Of course, you can't always anticipate every question, but I tried to always prepare the night before, even driving on the way there. I mean, I don't know how, I mean, looking on my phone, memorizing things. So that is how I think I had some confidence early on, is just trying to be as prepared as possible. But I appreciate you saying that, because it has taken a long time. I still get anxiety when I go to show a house sometimes, or a listing presentation. Like, I don't think it's just for newer agents. I think that some of us, we still carry that with us, but it's about being prepared as you can be.
That's refreshing. I have tons of anxiety as well. A lot of
You
people.
do?
Well, I have a ton
Yeah.
of anxiety. Yeah. Mine's was more. I've been getting through it, but more
Uh-oh.
based around like
Oh, no.
travel anxiety that I've gone through since by just literally doing it over and over and over again as I keep getting booked to
Mm.
travel and speak. But I had tons like of crippling traveling anxiety, where
Just
like
like
legit.
anticipating, even though you know when you're in the moment, you're like, this isn't that bad, but just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's always before for me.
Right.
It's just like the lead up all the
Yeah.
time.
It's the
Is that how it
worst.
is for you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's why I feel like the broke agent memes are so relatable, because I will get anxiety thinking about just going to a house, opening the gate, opening the, turning off the alarm, the lockbox. All those things are so relatable to me,
Oh my god.
because
Isn't it
everything is
the
stressful.
Yeah.
isn't it the worst when like your client is right there when you're like opening a lockbox or a door
Oh,
code or
I'll
something
break
and you're
out into
like
a full sweat.
I know.
That
It's
that
just
It's the
like
worst.
scene that scene, I think it was first episode of Buying Beverly Hills, when Alexia is, maybe it's second, when she's showing the house and the seller's there and the
Oh.
seller's just typing on her computer. I've seen horror movies.
That
I just saw the movie Smile,
scene.
scariest movie of all time. This invoked so much remembrance and fear for me of just even showing
Yeah.
up to an open house 30 minutes before and the seller still being there,
Mhm.
just kind of watching the way I, open the
Do
curtains, turn on the
anything.
lights, do
Like,
anything.
why
I
was
was
she there?
I
I had
exactly.
so
know.
much anxiety for my sister. I was turning red for her. I was so
And it was so natural the way she was kind of stumbling over her words, not remembering the
Mhm.
countertops. Like, I think as an agent, we'll get into the show, of course, but I just want to touch upon this. As an agent, just watching that was so just cathartic, because it was like,
You're like,
if
not
they're
just
experiencing
me.
it, if
Yes.
Alexia's experiencing it, then it's okay that we are experiencing this, because I had to get out of the business basically because of that type of thing. Like, I couldn't do it. It was all about performance, and
It's
I
all
couldn't
too
do it.
much. It's all
Yeah.
too much, guys.
No,
I don't
it's
know how we
yeah.
survive. We act like we're freaking doing brain surgery and like heart surgery. But hey, it's
Right?
our experience. We're allowed to
Yep.
have it too.
I know it's actually insane, but that's I mean I've heard a lot of people say that like it's just super relatable the show. Eric,
Good.
I'm gonna call you out real quick, Eric.
Please.
Eric, well he normally hates all these shows like crazy. He
Oh
didn't
yeah.
watch it when it came out. Unfortunately, he's
Rude, ruining our ratings.
about 4 months late for the ratings, but he was watching
Oh
it
Uh-oh.
no.
last week and
Not
this
again.
week.
Matt, I think you might have to. Oh no, you're good. You're back.
I'm
Oh,
back.
you're
Yeah,
back.
you're
You're
good.
back.
Oh shit. I don't know what's happening. I was literally on calls all day
Hmm.
on this thing.
That's
Sorry.
weird.
Okay. Anyways, Eric
You're
was,
calling me out.
yeah, I'm calling you out. We'll get the editors. We have master editors here. They'll make
Yeah,
it look like I
exactly.
never left once.
It'll make it look like my hat's still on my head.
Yeah, the continuity is just all wrong on this.
Show up
on
in a
this
different
episode.
shirt.
Yeah. Okay. But Eric was watching it, I guess, yesterday and the day before, and he hates everything. He hates pretty much everything about this business, and he goes, "This is really relatable. This is actually like a really good show." And I was like, "Yeah, I know.
That's the
Should have
biggest
watched it."
compliment then.
Right? I know, because he
Yeah, you
hates.
want to have the worst critic possible.
Yeah,
Well,
he hates
Watching.
everything.
agents hate watch or don't watch Selling Sunset, $1 Million Listing,
Mm-hmm.
or I mean, we watched a couple episodes of Selling Hamptons. Might have
Oh, I
been
didn't
one of
even
the.
know that
Might
existed.
have been. It was
Well,
on Netflix.
there you
I
go.
think.
No.
Yeah. One of the most insane shows I've ever seen. Clearly, the agents just had no idea what they were doing. But this one, from an agent perspective, and just the dynamic of the experience and the contrast with the rookie agents was, as I said, cathartic and just like really, really interesting to watch. So yes, Matt,
Thank you. Thank you.
thanks for exposing that. I watched it not
I
when
know.
it came out,
Hey,
but
well,
yesterday.
you're doing your research. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fair,
Well,
fair enough.
So
Exactly.
So how was that? Because I remember you saying at Inman you really didn't care to do a show unless it was going to help your business.
Yeah,
So how was the lead up to that? What were you thinking going into it? Was it what you
pure
thought it would be?
panic
Yeah.
attacks every day. And then you add in the fact that, I wanted to get my hair done every morning and get my makeup done and pick cute outfits, very complicated stuff. No, but I was, yeah, very concerned because I felt like I had a lot to lose. I'm doing quite well in my business. So it was like, okay, the reward could be obviously like, hey, this is some great prospecting. Do I want to make a million calls a week, or do I want to just have the phone ringing off the hook, which is what I thought maybe could happen in the future. But the obvious risk would be I don't have control of editing. I don't know. I have no idea what the rest of the world thinks of me, or if I'm going to come off professional, if I'm going to just come off as my authentic self. I really didn't know how it was going to be. So there was a lot of anxiety surrounding that, and just bringing it every day also. And just, in the interviews, wanting to be, again, authentic, but also kind of diplomatic at times, professional. It was like balancing so many different things.
Yeah.
So I would not say I had fun. Yes, I definitely had fun. But I'm such a control freak that until I saw the final product, I was not exactly at ease. Then when I watch a show and realize, oh, okay, great. They weren't trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And I think it came off quite well. And like you said, it shows, the different dynamics of the business. And so now I'm comfortable. I'm more comfortable, at least until season 2, and then it'll all start again.
Yeah. I guess they don't really care for your feelings. Really. They just want the best show possible.
Yeah, to some regard, but at the end of the day, it's a TV show and it is about what the people want to see. And we do have such a great dynamic, as you know, Matt, at the agency, and such a great familial bond and so much camaraderie that we were worried, like, are we going to have enough drama? Like, we actually really get along. So I think, the show wasn't drama focused, which I'm glad, but I'm sure there are some people out there that wanted more. But if you want that, go watch another show.
Yeah, like I said, from a real estate agent perspective, the non-drama aspect and just seeing the showings and seeing the open houses and the actual descriptions of the houses and everything. I really like
Yeah.
that scene with Sonica when Mauricio came in and basically had them
Oh
do
my
a
God, that was so
pitch
funny.
right there. And she just completely stumbled over her words immediately. And I totally related with that as
Oh
well,
my
because
God.
it's even scary. It's like making a call when your team lead is right there, or showing
Like
a house with the
suddenly you
seller
just draw
there.
a blank. Everything that you knew is out the door completely.
Exactly.
I felt bad for her. I would have been terrified also. Another thing also I was going to just add is just
Yeah.
that the additional pressure of not only of representing the agency too. Like, this is our
Right.
entire company, and we have many offices and many agents that we're representing, and wanting to make sure that this goes well for everybody.
So
So,
knowing that, I was wondering how the process occurred within your company when the idea came to be, let's have a Netflix show, or maybe
mhm.
Netflix approached you. I want to hear about how that happened. And then what was the dynamic like in the office? Were
Mm.
agents chomping at the bits to be a part of this? Did you have any say of who would be on camera? Like, how did that all work out?
So when this was all happening, I guess before the pandemic, a few years ago, this was actually supposed to be an agency, one of our Mexico office franchises. It was supposed to be based on like a kind of like a destination location. And then with the pandemic, that didn't end up happening. Then once things started, easing up, they wanted to do a show about our LA office. I had kept seeing posts on our kind of like digital bulletin board, and kind of just scroll, ignore. And then after like the 5th time, I said, Mauricio and Alexia and I were in the car, and Alexia and I said, wait, what, is there like a Netflix show happening that we should maybe be a part of, or maybe not be? And he's like, oh yeah, you guys are like, I signed you guys up. You're already doing it. And we're like, what? And he's like, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I assume that it's probably a good idea. So you're already on board. If it happens, like, it's going to be us 3, and then they're going to pick 7 other people. So how it worked for everybody was they just threw out a big casting net in our flagship office, Beverly Hills, and people tried out and they narrowed down. And we didn't have a say, but they did want organic connections and ties. So they did want people like we were actually close with, but we did not get to cherry pick. And people were not thrilled. Some people afterwards, like there were a few people chomping at the bit, and they were not exactly thrilled. And we felt bad, honestly. Like we'd love to have everybody, of course, but it's not up to us. So
Yeah, I had a couple heated email exchanges.
So you
there.
were fired from Canada.
No,
you were about to
yeah,
move to LA, move into my
yeah,
guest house, and
exactly.
The thing is with
Get on
these
board.
shows, as we've seen from Million Dollar Listing, like this has caused like not a euphoria, a contagion. No, I don't know. I don't know what the word is. An expansive brands for these agents, right? Like Ryan Serhant is now one of the biggest names.
Mhm.
Josh Flagg, Frederick, like all these agents have exploded. Tracy Tudor from these
Mhm.
shows. So it's not just the opportunity of, getting a blue check on Instagram or getting like a quick little fame or some Netflix money or whatever comes with it. It's your like life as a real estate agent can improve immensely from it, right?
Yes.
Because you can actually get these calls. You're getting so much exposure. So
Mhm.
did it change a lot from you? Like after the show was released and such good reviews and the exposure, did you get a lot more business from the show?
Everyone stop for a second. This market is a little bit tighter than it has been in the past few years, which means leads are not necessarily banging down the door. But you know who isn't worried right now? Agents who use BoomTown, the #1 rated real estate CRM in the game.
That's right. BoomTown, it was actually founded in 2008, Eric. Do you know that?
Yeah, the same year the Phillies won the World Series against the Rays. How could I forget?
I'll take your word for it. In the middle of a housing crisis, their CEO, Greer Allen, built it
Yeah.
from the ground up with
Legend.
the explicit intention of empowering agents to be successful no matter the market. So if you're ready to build a truly bulletproof business, visit BoomTown, ROI.com/overask. Plus, see how you can score 750 big ones in free digital advertising. That's BoomTown, ROI.com/overask.
In my mind, I was thinking the show's going to air. I'm just going to kick back. Woo! The phones are literally going to be
Right.
nonstop. I'm going to have to hire more team members. No, not quite. Not quite. I have always heard people always say to me like, "Oh, you're probably too busy for this," or "This deal is probably too small for you," even before the show. So I always tell people that is not true. This is my livelihood, my bread and butter. This is how I make a living, pay the mortgage. But I wonder if maybe that's a part of the reason. I definitely have gotten calls, and the problem is you don't always know if someone's calling. Not everyone's going to say, "Oh my God, I saw you on TV." A lot of people are going to pretend they came from some other route. You know what I mean? So we have gotten some for sure, but I was expecting to have so many listings I didn't know what to do with. So
Yeah.
Season 2, everybody listening to this, well, I guess this is more agents, but if you're sellers and buyers, call me.
Yeah. Well, I will say for the brand, it did do well. I was
Yes.
flying home from New York and I was wearing my hat, and the flight attendant was like, "Are you just like a massive fan, or
No
do you work for
way.
the agency?" And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Massive fan."
That'd
No,
be so
but-
lame if you, I mean, like, maybe it wouldn't, but just buying like a brokerage merch without being part of the brokerage.
No, it's badass. What do
totally
you mean
badass.
lame, Eric?
Okay, well, maybe the
I'm gonna
agency's the only brokerage that you could pull it off, but you're not going to buy like
It
a
is.
Compass branded shirt
Listen,
if you're not.
I was at
Compass.
Keller Williams and Century 21, and I'm sorry, they're all great brands, but I would never be caught dead.
You
in
don't
one
have
of their
your
pieces
vintage
of
tees
merch.
hung up, your Century 21.
The Century
Keller
21,
Williams.
the gold jackets.
I don't. I do not. Great. Hey,
Great brands.
not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, next question. Yeah, great brands, great brokerage.
No, it has
So,
been
but
really
you were
good
talking-
though, like you said,
Yeah.
from a brokerage perspective. Yeah.
No, for sure. But you were talking about like people thinking you're too busy to help them
Mhm.
now. Like, are you still doing like? Because I don't even know. Do you still do $2, $3, $4 million properties? Of course,
100%.
right?
I'm a
Okay.
desperado. I'll do a $500,000
Okay.
condo. Like I do
Okay.
leases. I do it all.
I saw the
Really?
leases. You have, I mean, 25,000 a month. These are massive
No, but
leases.
Some not. No,
And
I
then you got
have
a
lesser
listing right
ones too.
now.
Maybe not currently.
Well, here's the thing though. Here's what the question I'm trying to
Yeah.
get to. Is there a difference between how you would talk to a client of a $50 million property to a $1 million property, or is it just all the same?
Same level of service, probably just with a little bit more nerves, you know. But those
Okay.
$50 million properties, those ones are, in a way, they're easier. They, for the most part, I'm generalizing, but like they hit them with a request for repairs for like 100,000, and they're like, okay, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. The small deals are the hardest ones for sure.
Okay.
But I feel like we as agents, or many of us, or maybe I just haven't learned to like let go of that mentality of like this deal, I better just like take this deal in front of me. So that's why I continue to say yes to leases and continue to think, who knows where this might go? Maybe they're going to be a buyer. They're going to introduce me to their aunt or their uncle, or something. And maybe that's not the most efficient use of my time, but I do have a hard time saying no. And I probably learned that from Mauricio because he's a yes man and everything is yes, yes, yes.
So
Right.
what about the
Go.
like the way you described it? It sounds like the clients are a little bit possibly easier to deal with for the high end tickets because what's another $100,000 or $200,000? But I got to imagine the preparation. If you're opening up, like you have a listing, what 50 million, another one was 45 or 40 million. I mean, these are
Yes,
massive
the
estates here.
preparation
The
is quite
preparation, like
different.
writing that
Absolutely.
description, knowing the details of the chandelier, the flooring, like you're basically talking about like 15 different houses, right? As
Oh, for
opposed
sure.
to a $1 million bungalow in Santa Monica where 1,200 square feet, there's a little less to memorize.
Absolutely. And the memorization part's fine, but it's, yes, wanting to be there an hour in advance and making sure that you know who the client is that you're talking to and making sure you know the sales on the street and making
Yeah.
sure you know way more than just about the house. Because the kind of buyers that are showing up to those kind of properties, they're going to start asking you about that house next door and that owner and, that sale that happened that many years ago. And you better have the answers because that would be embarrassing if you didn't.
Yeah. What do you do when you don't have the answers? Like
I'm
what's your
honest.
go-to line? Is it I'll get back to you on that? Matt and I have a little
Yeah.
skit where
Yeah.
Oh,
we
really?
did that. Yeah.
That's
You
a
may have
very
seen
good
it.
question. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Perfect.
Actually, yeah, that's what I say.
Are you saying that to me or is that what you're saying in
No, that's
general?
what I say to them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
See,
saying it
she's
to
so
that actual
she's so
question.
good at it that you don't even know
Yeah,
if she's being real.
I had no
exactly.
idea. Yeah.
hmm
Okay, did you ask about the chandelier, Eric? Because I was very
No,
okay.
no, I didn't. Well, I mentioned
Hmm.
the chandelier. We kind of had a joke prepared about the
No,
chandelier,
well,
but
Which
not a joke,
chandelier?
but I was just thinking because in these high valued properties, like a chandelier could be like $700,000. So like, I would expect you would need to
Mhm.
know, right? Like, where's that from? What's it made out of? Like, people want to know those fine details. Is that right?
Sort of, yes, but also the buyers that come to those properties for the most part, they're coming in, they're not saying much. They're not usually asking that many questions. It's kind of like, do I like the vibe? And like I was just saying to Eric, it's a lot of potentially asking questions about like other sales in the neighborhood. I feel like they're not usually so interested in all the little details. Like they're too busy.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming
Yeah.
in, they're coming out, they're on a tight schedule, and you kind of just are there to answer questions, obviously, but usually they don't have that many questions.
It's not like you're showing a first-time buyer a condo in
Oh,
Brentwood, and
and
the
they're like, "Is
father
this
is
vinyl
there.
floors or real hardwood?"
Exactly, and I'm
I'll
like, I
get
have
back
no
to you on
idea, but
that.
I'll get back to you on everything.
Yeah. How
Exactly.
old's the furnace? I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I don't even know what a furnace is.
Yeah, what do you guys say to people?
I usually just walk out the door
Yeah.
and turn off my phone.
Eric just has a panic attack.
Yeah,
Um,
I
Oh,
literally
you have
just get
anxiety
out
too?
of. I
yeah.
just get out of the
Oh, yeah.
business completely and just
Yeah.
Oh,
don't
right.
even about
So what I
Exactly.
used to do, which is terrible, and I've said this before, is I would make things up. I would have like go-to things, so because I wouldn't be prepared at all. So they'd be like,
Hmm.
when was the roof done? I'd be like 2014, and then they'd go walk
Deadpan.
around, and then I'd look it up, and then be like, sorry, I've showed like
good tactic.
I'd show like 8 houses
Oh,
today. The last one
frick.
was
Looked
2014.
like he was about to say something there, but there is
Yeah.
something like
Am I back?
about
Oh, you're
you're
back. You're
back.
back. You're
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was saying like it was and then I'd be like, I have The last one I showed was 2014. This one's actually 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But
Good on you.
it's not very nice. You should just be honest.
Yeah. But
You
it
can
is
only use
important
the
to have
too
that.
honest card like one time though, but maybe for the second or third, do what you do.
Exactly, because you can't keep saying, I'll get back to you.
You'd almost rather have the confidence with a little lie like that you could correct. Maybe not.
That's
other
what I
than
did always for everything.
doing what I would do, which is kind of panicking. Like the way I think it was Sonica again that was just like, oh yeah, this is the fireplace. I don't know, just the way she sounded, you could tell that
she was unsure.
it basically just turned off Mauricio and turned off like the way the showing was going to be going about. And I always felt that. I was so conscious of that I was not bringing that confidence on.
Well, that's what it's all about, perception, right? It's all
really
about
is.
perception. And like, I like to study, the greats out there, and like someone like, James Harris and Mauricio, whatever they say, it could be real. Maybe it's not real. We don't know. They're so passionate. They're so laid back. Like, it's just this energy. And that
Are they known for being a little loose with the truth? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Okay.
not at
Got
all. Not on the important things,
Right.
but
Of course.
whatever they say, their delivery is so passionate that you're just kind of swept up. And I think a lot of that's innate, unfortunately, for the most of us, but you can just try to emulate in ways,
Yeah.
or
The
I guess
accent helps
maybe
with
it's a
that,
skill
too.
that can be built.
It is
The
so
British
true
accent.
about that
The British
confidence,
accent.
though, that I went to breakfast. I was not just me, but I was with James and a couple others at the St. Regis in New York. And I was asking about his team, like what the average agent has to do. And with such confidence and certainty, he goes 100 million. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
I was
shit.
like,
That's
that's
so
a
ridiculous.
Oh my God.
That's a big volume.
What is this team?
And then everyone started
Oh.
laughing. I was like, damn, you sold me.
No,
Yeah.
he was great. We have some great people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys have some personalities over there.
Thank you.
Kind of
We do.
on the same topic. Have you ever had like a horrific mess up in a real estate deal, or like a super embarrassing moment at a showing or open house, anything like that?
For sure. Gosh, I wish I had these stories. Sometimes my memory is not the best. That's why I'm telling you, I'm reading facts sometimes in the car on the way to my appointments. Maybe delete that part. No, but I definitely have so many stories. I mean, after 13 years, I don't have any off the top of my head, but I will say we did have a horrific story recently. Someone on my team, I will not say who, but this is a great lesson to agents out there. Like, the worst thing imaginable you could expect from a lease just recently happened on one of our deals, where a tenant ripped out appliances, took a bat to the glass windows, destroyed this house. And then we get someone on the team gets message from the seller. The landlord, hey, can you send me the renter's insurance? Well, there was no renter's insurance.
Oh God.
So yeah, I've seen it all kinds of disasters. And that's the part where I think over the years I've had to grow really tough skin. Or I've just learned that, like, you can't, in this case, that was bad. Oh, now I know a good story. So I have this one client who's a huge old Hollywood movie star, was notoriously known for every single real estate agent she ever worked for, fired like 10 different agents, trainers. Like, everyone said, hey, the person that introduced me to her said, just letting you know, like, you better like be on your best behavior. Like, she's scary, basically. We would go to showings. She would tell the listing agent to please step outside because she couldn't look at them. Their own listing, she would tell them, please wait outside. I can't look at you. You're taking up too much space.
Oh my God.
She was so scary to me, would leave me this craziest voicemails, would just like erupt in rage. And I was newer to the business, like 2 or 3 years in, shaking, quaking in my boots. And, but those experiences now, like, I realize, like, you try not to take those things personally in the moment. Like, you have to just not let it affect you.
Was this like a J-Lo thing? Because I've heard J-Lo
No, it was not.
I-
It was
He's not
not
going to
J-Lo.
tell you,
Okay.
Eric. You can guess.
I can't tell you.
No. I'm not asking if it's J-Lo. I'm saying the looking thing. So I've heard J-Lo. I know the stewardess who works on private jet. I actually don't know her. I met her
Yeah,
once.
we know. Yeah.
And she told me that
Mhm.
I don't know. This is all completely made up. No,
Hmm.
she told me she was on a private jet servicing J-Lo, giving her champagne. J-Lo has a thing where you can't look her in the eyes, apparently. And
Wow.
if you do look her in the eyes, it's like a rude thing, kind of like Medusa or something like that. Like you're not going to turn to stone or anything, but if you look at her, she looks at you like you're insane. So was it
What?
something like that, or was this lady just
She wanted her space. No, I think she really just did not want to look at people that were unfamiliar, or like maybe not the most
yeah?
attractive. I don't know, but I
It's
will
just
tell
doesn't
you,
doesn't want ugly people in her sight. That's
basically, I mean,
hilarious.
she would leave me 10-minute voicemails just ripping me a new
Oh
one.
my
I
god.
would be so terrified. But I will say this has a happy ending. It ended with her loving me, thanking me. I did 3 transactions with her. She came over to our house for dinner. So yeah, you kind of just gotta roll with the punches
Yeah.
sometimes.
Isn't that experience so funny, and it's almost comforting just knowing that, like, it all really does happen for a reason, as cliche as it is. Like
Mhm.
everything you do happens for a reason, and it brings you to like that next step in your career, your life, that you can
For sure.
navigate. And like, if you never had those first experiences, you probably wouldn't, there'd be something missing from you right now. You're a better
Absolutely.
agent because of it, and now you've done 3 transactions with that person, which is
Yeah.
awesome. May or may not be J-Lo, folks. We're not sure just yet.
She said the older lady.
Oh, right. Okay. James Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Jane
Yeah.
Fonda. Yeah. Sorry, I was
Jane.
thinking of.
No. But she's a legend.
She is a
But no,
legend.
but you can't be guessing, because then if you say the right name, I'm
Then
not.
she
Okay.
I'm
can't
not a
be.
good liar.
Okay. I was gonna say Betty White, but I won't. And
Oh, my mom did a movie with her.
Betty White's legendary.
Oh wait, just kidding. That might be somebody else.
That's
Dolly Parton. We're just naming.
Let's IMDb that,
80-year-old
folks.
women
Let's
here.
fact check that.
Right.
Yeah, not Betty White, but someone. Anyways, moving
No,
on.
It's the theme that you just touched upon is a similar theme in Buying Beverly Hills. Again, not a simple Netflix show, a Netflix show with so much more deeper meaning than the average real estate show that I saw, and a constant lesson being taught by yourself, by Mauricio, by John, was overcoming or the ability to overcome being uncomfortable. And I don't really know where I'm going with this. It felt like I was about to say something pretty profound.
Yeah,
there. I
dude.
wasn't. Let
No,
me
but that's
see what I
true.
was doing. But to be a successful real estate agent, you're going to be so uncomfortable in so many different positions, whether it's cold calling, whether it's door knocking, whether it's dealing with the seller, posting on social media. And the more you overcome those, obviously, the more successful agent you become. And it's just, that's how it is.
For sure. And I will also say,
oh my God, what the hell did
no,
I
but
just
that's
say right there?
that's very true.
Haley, cut that
It's
entire monologue out, please. That was ridiculous.
no, for sure. We have to do the uncomfortable every single day, from the micro to the macro. And we also all have stories that we tell ourselves. I mean, I'm sure most people think like, what do you mean? What story do you have to tell yourself? Like, you started with Mauricio and probably got handed every single thing that you've ever done. Well, my story for all those years was, hey, I need to, like, my identity is attached to his, and no one's ever going to take me seriously. And I'm going to have to work above and beyond to prove that I have the knowledge and that the negotiation skills and all of those things. So like, we all have stories regardless of where we come from. Like, I'm never going to deny my privilege or opportunity. But once I was like, hey, why can't I just be like, yeah, so he's my stepdad, he's my partner, and just be able to tell the story like this. Like, before, I'd be like, no, I cannot go on that podcast because this is like, I can't talk about this.
Yeah.
Right.
But now I can just say, like, both can be true. And we all have stories, and you just have to learn to like see them in a different lens and use them to empower yourself instead of against yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you for cleaning that up for me. Perfect.
Yeah, she really brought
Way
that
better said.
right around. because that
God.
was
That's exactly what I meant to say. what
Farrah's
you just
probably
said,
saying,
yes.
"But Inman Award-winning what? What the hell was that?" um, but that is true, and I've often said like everyone absolutely wherever they are has their own obstacle, and I'd say for someone with a parent who's so successful in the business, a lot of the normal things are kind of harder because if
Yeah.
you really want to do it yourself, like you've done, like you've created a path for yourself and you're known for being you now. I mean, some people can just ride the coattails forever if they want, but it's very inspiring that you actually, paved your own way. And I think some of those early hurdles are almost harder for you because you constantly have to
Thank
prove
you.
yourself every time. So
Thank you. I
whoever
appreciate
says
that.
it was handed to you, come talk to me and I'll
No. No.
I'll
What do
tell
you
you
do?
off.
What are you gonna do? You gonna
Look,
fight him?
everyone leveraged the opportunity that you had. I had a pretty great one, but I still had my own trials and tribulations. And for many, many years, no one was saying what you just said to me. But the day that came when someone said to me, "Oh, hey, I want to work with agents like you and Mauricio, or, you two are the top." And I was like, wow, oh my God. Like they're saying me, they're looking at me as somebody alongside of him, not as, under his umbrella.
Yeah.
But that took a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wanted to say that to you because I know sometimes when you're in the thick of it, it's, you can't really see what's going on around you, and you're very, very respected as your own person in this industry. So I wanted you to
Thank
hear
you.
that.
That's very kind. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Always nice to hear, right?
Yes, absolutely. Eric, not so much.
Yeah. I got a selfish question here.
Okay.
Mhm.
What do you guys, agency, top agents, what do you think of us? What do you think of Matt? What do you think of
What do you mean?
Sorry.
I'm the agency.
No,
I'm
I know.
with
I'm
the
talking
agency.
about
Wait, hold on.
Like,
Mauricio's
Real
calling
Fair.
me. Should I pick up?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick up, put him
This
on.
is
Hold
awesome.
on. Hello? Hello?
Hi, Love Bug.
Hi.
Oh my
I'm doing a podcast right now with Matt Lionetti and Eric from the Broke Agent, the Over Ask podcast, and you're live. Say hi.
Oh my God, how fun. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Mauricio.
Hi, Mauricio. It's great to hear your voice.
I was like, should I just pick up the phone right now?
Yeah,
He
this
said
is
yes.
breaking news. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. I owe Matt Lionetti a call too. He and I are. He's been chasing me down. Tell him I'm finally in town.
Oh, he
and
can
I
hear you.
talk.
He's in
Oh,
town.
Awesome.
good. So we can chat tomorrow morning, Matt, or whatever.
Love it. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
perfect. Works for me also. Loop me into that call too, please, Mauricio.
Okay, well, should I call you back, or is there something like you need right now? I'll call you back.
No, call me back.
Okay, bye.
See you, Mauricio. I thought you already had.
Awesome.
Well,
So
that's
I'm not gonna ask the question I was just about to ask because that was way better.
here's
What
the
were you
thing.
gonna ask?
I'm with the agency. So what do you mean? What does Farrah think about? I mean, what does the agency think about you? I would say.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Now I remember.
It's a
Sorry.
little more personal. I just meant are you guys aware? Are you seeing the skits? Are you seeing the funny stuff? Do you guys like it? Do you guys think we're morons? What's going on?
Absolutely love.
Okay.
Love.
Cool.
Like
I've
I
never-
said earlier, so relatable. Love everything. Avid follower and fan.
And that's why
Thank you.
I
That's a great
preach
Yes.
answer.
the agency so much. I've never been so welcomed into a brokerage. Like I am welcomed with open arms here, where some people may think,
100%.
oh, it's luxury and it's high end. They won't like that kind of thing. I've never felt
No.
so a part of something.
We love you. I mean, my mom always sends she forwards me your videos too. I'm like, I saw that already, Mom. Thank you. It's great.
I love
No,
hearing that.
everybody loves Matt, and his speech at Forum, or his presentation story, I should say, was incredible. So fun, so inspiring.
Thank you.
It was great.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. That makes me feel good.
This is all we wanted. Just
Yeah, I get
showered with compliments.
I'm gonna have that on a testimonial in my listing presentation.
Yeah, Haley, clip this. Clip the last 2 minutes of this, please.
So, okay, as we're wrapping up here, what is a piece of advice that maybe Mo gave you, or just someone in the industry, if you can think of it. Someone's asked me this question before and I couldn't think of anything, but like a piece of advice or even something you saw someone do that you didn't want to be like. Like, is there any like moment that sticks out in your mind that kind of?
There's so many I would have to pull from the Mauricio catalogs, but he's a yes man. Like there's always a solution. He's so calm and creative, and he like knows how to think outside of the box. So that's just the answer I'll give today. I could come up with one of the other many, many things I learned from him tomorrow.
Yeah.
But right now that's what comes to mind is just, thinking out of the box. And I think that's what he's done as a leader of the agency, as an innovator. That's what he does in his real estate deals and his day to day. He's the one that also taught me like always pick up the phone because, when that client's calling you and your anxiety is really kicking in and they're going to say something that you're just like, want to be like, let me think about this and call them back. Like he always picks up the phone. So that's always in the back of my mind. Just like pick up the phone, deal with this.
Yep.
And yeah,
he leads by
great.
example.
those are two little tidbits.
Yeah. He leads by example for sure.
He does.
I love the
definitely
handling it and tackling it now type of thing. I'm trying to consciously do that even just with text messages from my mom, for example. Just anything that like it like festers and burns a hole in my pocket and my phone basically when I have all these emails and text messages or
it's a burden. When people
really
text
is.
me, I'm like, you are burdening me that I
It
need to
is.
then text you back now. Please
But
stop texting me.
if you just
Don't
power
call me.
through them,
Don't text me. Okay. Sometimes I will get back to people a week later. I'm not talking about work stuff, but personal. And I feel really bad, but I'm like, you're doing this to yourself.
Farrah, do you have the red? Do you have the red notification on?
No way.
Okay, same. We had a big.
Oh, should I? Is that like a reverse psychology tactic?
I don't have it on either. Eric, do you?
Oh.
no, of course not. I don't want anyone to know I ever
Just
read
slap
their
in the
text.
face. Like I read it and I'm still not getting
Although
back to
it does make you more accountable to respond to
true.
things, basically.
Oh, is that where
because
you were
then
going with that, Matt?
That's where I think
No,
that's where he was going.
not
with it.
really.
I think it was. I
No,
think
I was
that's
just-
exactly where you were
I
going.
was just
with it.
wondering because some people like swear by having the red on, and I could never do that.
It's like people who take ice baths now.
Wish I could
Is
be
that
one of those.
Are they good?
accurate
Are they
analogy?
good? Yeah.
I don't know.
apparently
Everyone,
for
it's like
inflammation.
it's like a huge wave now. Everyone's just getting an ice bath, and then they think they're like a higher power than everyone.
Yeah, they say that you feel like you're high when you come out, like you can take on the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do all your cold calling after the cold
Exactly.
plunge.
Exactly.
Do you cold call, or did you cold call in the beginning?
Oh my God, putting me on the spot. I have done it. Yes.
Okay.
I tell every single day, put in my calendar, and I say I'm going to do it tomorrow. So I'm just going to have a real transparent moment right now here. I try to do it. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better.
Okay. Now, what was your first cold call like? Because I used to cold call, and then when I would hear hello, this is a breaking news. No, I've never told this to anyone. As soon as I'd hear hello, I'd hang up the phone.
So something I would do.
I was so scared.
Probably did the same, honestly.
Okay.
I probably did the same.
That makes me feel better. Eric, did you cold call?
Yeah, for about 6 months to zero success whatsoever. It's absolutely horrifying. I would pray that people would not pick up. I would pray that I would not leave voicemails. And this Australian guy behind me, I've said this on the show before, was murdering it because of his accent
It's
and just
always the
booking
accent.
nonstop appointments, and it infuriated me.
Well, can you just put on an accent and try it out?
Yeah, I could do like an Israeli accent, but I don't know if that would work to my advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You're going to stick in the British and Australian,
Yeah,
the UK
exactly.
hemisphere. And
You could do
Australia.
your old school baseball commentator.
Yeah, my Harry Carey, old Chicago Cubs. I'm not going to do it for you, Farrah. Don't worry. I don't want to embarrass you. I could also do a Bane impression from Batman, but
Okay.
I think answering the phone like Bane probably
Yeah,
wouldn't
you'd
be.
be.
Hey,
in
maybe they'd
prison.
like that. This could be your niche. Next thing you know,
Exactly.
you're going to have like all the listings in Beverly Hills.
Bane just called me. Now I'm listing a $3 million house with him. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Farrah, I think we have taken up enough of your wonderful time,
This
and
was so fun. I actually
we
really
had
enjoyed
a
this one.
fantastic time. Good.
I loved
We
it. I
had a
could talk to you
fantastic
guys.
time with you as well. And is there anything you want to mention? Anything about Buying Beverly Hills? Anything you want to plug, any new listings, anything?
Not really. Just, well, if you haven't seen the show yet, please watch it on Netflix. And I guess stay tuned in case we get a season 2. That's about
And
it.
when do you find out about that?
Very, very soon.
Okay.
Very
All right.
soon.
Well,
So
we'll keep us
fingers crossed.
posted. Keep us posted. And when you do, we will publish all of the content on BAM. Also, not publish the show content, obviously, but we will publish clips, promote it, and
Okay.
fire away with it. Matt, anything else?
We still live?
Yeah, I
Yes.
was concluding. I did a pretty piss
Okay.
poor job with that conclusion. If you want
Okay.
to wrap it up.
Well, I just wanted to ask if it was breaking news that if Buying Beverly Hills was getting season 2.
Oh, we will find out very soon. We don't
Okay.
know
There we go.
yet.
Okay.
So
Could have been over
fingers
us breaking.
crossed. And
Yes.
hey, if we get a season 2, will you come make a guest appearance?
100%. I'm there. I'll stay.
Oh.
You offered the guest
Oh my
house.
God.
God, the timing is
I'll
crazy.
answer for him. His answer is yes.
Okay,
He will 100%
Wait, I'm back.
make a guest appearance.
Oh, okay.
And you offered the guest house to me
Yes, exactly.
earlier
Oh, yes,
on.
both. The guest house and the guest appearance.
Okay. Yeah, I'm there.